Okay, in this video I want to talk about one of the tools that I get asked about the most as I'm doing some of my day trading. Currently I'm working and learning how to really get good at day trading, but the main thing I notice that everyone asks about is how am I using my Stream Deck. So most videos that you see that talks about Stream Deck, they may talk about it as though it's a completely automated way that you can trade and you can just use it almost like a remote control or joystick for a game. And that's true, you can do that in theory, but some of the things that I feel that people have a big hurdle in is making sure that they can connect their Stream Deck to their broker account, as well as being able to configure it. And then the last thing is just being able to go through a clean trade and making those adjustments. So in this video, I'm just gonna demo the way that this Stream Deck works. So by default, you can have a home screen that is here, and you can basically configure it however you want. There is an application that goes with it that you can kind of just configure all of these buttons, and you can make different profiles on here. So I'm not gonna go through each one of those, but there are profiles that I do have on here, whether I'm using my DAS, whether I'm using my Warrior Simulator Trader, or whether I'm using it just for different home screen items and websites. So FinViz, I have tradesmith.io. If I want to go to my Warrior Pro Trading class, I can do that. Thinkorswim, StockTweet. You can basically assign anything that you can do on your keyboard as hotkeys into this. So I have other softwares that I use, Twitch, vMix, and YouTube, anything if you want to go live. But using it for day trading, you want to have that one thing that can give you an edge. So you want to set up a profile that you can definitely leverage and create different icons. So if you look here on the screen, I have different icons for when I want to buy or when I want to sell. Now, it doesn't come with this by default. You have to configure it. It doesn't take a lot to configure. You can relatively add certain images and icons, and of course each icon you can assign a hotkey that goes with it. But what I want to get to is some of the biggest issues that people have when they're using Stream Deck. One of the biggest issues is making sure that you're connecting it to your brokerage account. So a lot of people feel like they buy this, they purchase it, they configure it, but then they have problems whenever they're trying to connect it to their brokerage account. So for this example, I'm gonna use my CMEG account, and I'm gonna definitely come here to my brokerage account. One thing I want you to remember is that when you're starting your Stream Deck software, hear me clear, when you're starting your Stream Deck software in some operating systems, you have to open it in administrative. So the way that you do that, of course, is you go to that icon, you right click it, and you start it as administrator. So if I want to open up, let me maybe pull up another screen here, maybe I can just show you. So I don't know if I can show you, well, I don't have my desktop shown here, but let me see. No, I'm not able to pull it up right now. So the key is when you right click on the icon in your Windows, especially when you're going to open up your application for the first time, you should definitely right click and open it as administrator. Now I know this seems like a very technical thing, but it's not. Just simply right click it and you can open it up as administrator. The second thing you want to do is, if you're just in here for the first time, especially on a live account, you want to make sure that you actually confirm that it's connected. Now I'm going to do a video later on how to configure it and how to check your configurations, how to fine tune it. But today I just want to demo it. So and I'll do more videos on that. Definitely like and subscribe and you'll see some of those videos. But I want to break it down into small bits, show you how it works first, and some of the biggest problems that users are having when they're trying to do this. So the main thing you want to do is make sure when you first sign in each day, I go to a test stock. So I always go to like CVZZT. Sorry, I got all my stuff here. And what I do is just test it. So the way that I test it, I just hit any of these hotkeys, and you see how it already registered that hotkey is an invalid quantity, or my hotkey order contains it. That doesn't matter. It's just I'm just doing something to get it in there. Or again, I got these configurations here for buy, sell. Normally I just hit one of them to see if it's registering. But if you want to go in a trade, you can click that and you can see a trade open, and then I went out of the trade. Lost $30 that quick. So that's mainly one thing that I want to show you. Let me zoom out just a little bit here on this other screen so you're able to see that a little bit clearer whenever I do my order entries, because order entries are super important. So I'm going to make sure you're able to see that, the price action that I can get in and get out at. So I'm going to go to Tesla today, and let's just take a look at how it's trading. Normally when you're trading, you have your whatever software you're using, and this works on most brokerage accounts, and I may do a video on that allows you to create hotkeys. So DAS, Sterling, those are different platforms that you can use. Now other platforms that are free, they may not allow you to do certain hotkeys that are in there, but again, I'll talk about that when we get into configuring. But really looking at your keys that I've created here, each one of these keys, I'm just looking at it currently that I have it set, and you can change this to buy 3,000, to buy 2,000, 1,000. Then I have a little small buy order button that is here. What I want you to understand is I can do all my entries, then I can do my cancel of the orders, I can do a stop loss, and you can cover, or not cover, but you can actually sell. Now, this is a max out button. We'll talk about that later, but I wanted to talk about that you can set up a buy and sell profile. The reason why I like to do it this way is because, let me zoom in here on the product real quick, because I like to make sure that I have two separate profiles, whether I'm on the buy, long, or the short side. So if I'm shorting a stock, which I rarely do, I will have a separate profile with keys where I'm not accidentally buying and selling on the same stream deck. So I can always look at my brokerage account, and this is the way I configure it. I have my broker accounts that I do have, and I have some more, but these are just more for my day trading. And then of course, once I have my simulator account that is up here at the top. So if I want to go into buy profile, I can be in a buy profile. If I want to be in a sell profile, and normally when I'm looking at a trade and I'm looking at a stock and I feel like, okay, Tesla is going down, that's definitely looking like a bear flag that's probably setting up, I would go to my stream deck, and of course I'll hit my sell. And then if I want to get in on a short, I find that apex point that I feel that is really good to short, and I can hit one of these short keys. And the key is you want to make sure you're careful with this, because once you hit any of these buttons, it will start putting in an order, and they are configured in a certain way to buy or sell, or buy on the ask or sell on the bid, whatever, depending on what position that you're in. And we'll talk about how to get clean entries as well. So sometimes it's better to, sell on the axe if you're trying to get out of a long position that you recently are in, to just try to maximize your profit. So in the same thing on the opposite end, you can cover on the bid as well as you're going down. So if I want to, I guess I kind of missed my point there. It did kind of drop down. But it may look like it could still go lower. But the point is, if I was short on a stock, or if I was long, let's go back to the buy side, just for principles. You can see that I can click on some of these buttons. I can buy 1,000 shares. And when I hit to buy 1,000 shares, it did not do my order. Oh, critical point here. You have to have the window selected. That's one thing that has to happen. So you have an order window that is here, and that's one of the second things that I hear a lot. And it can be a little clunky whenever you're getting up in the morning and you're getting ready to make that first trade. is to remember that whenever you want to place your order, you want to click on that window, and then you can make a purchase. So you can see that I tried to purchase 1,000 shares, which is on my my Stream Deck, but I don't have the volume or the buying power to do that. So I'm gonna go with the 300 shares just to show you, or buy 100, just to show you how it works. So you can see here that I bought 100, and let me move this over here so that you can see that my position. So you can see that I bought 100 shares that are right here of Tesla, and you can see that I'm currently down $94. Let me move that over just some more, just so that you can see it. So I purchased 100 just to get in. One thing I want to do is maybe, let me move this over as well. Oh, sorry. I'll move this over because I want you to see the order entry. It's very important to see this dynamic. Whenever I'm doing an entry for any type of platform that I'm using, brokerage account, I want to see sometimes the order that is in play and then the orders that have been fulfilled. So these are open orders, these are executions, so it's good to be able to see it. The reason why is that sometimes your order may not be filled and it's here. And if your order is not filled, let's say that I do an order for 100 shares, and because there's so much volume, this may go through. But if it doesn't go through, I can quickly hit cancel, and you'll see that you have open orders. So one of the most important buttons to have outside of just your buy and your sell is to have some type of way that you can cancel an order. Because whenever you get in and you notice that there's something wrong with that order, I'm not getting filled, you want something that can quickly cancel, and this will cancel all orders. So normally when you're day trading, you're trying to get one entry, one order at a time. Unless you're really good, you can do 2 or 3 stocks and get in. But for this practicality, I really feel that it's important to clear all your orders or cancel all your orders. So you can see I did hit that buy button again, and now I have 200 shares. Now the key is whenever you want to get out, some people want to scale out of their position. So if I want to sell 100 shares, which will be 50%, you notice I have sell 25, sell 50, sell 100%. Now these sales that are on the left side are all selling on the axe, and that's a big thing when it comes down to properly filling out your order, is to be able to sell on the axe. And I'm losing like $600 and some. So I am definitely not in the position to just sell on the axe. But if you want to just minimize your loss, you can. So you can always check to see if you can get out on the axe. And then of course there's this bailout. Now bailout is like, I want to get completely out like now, and that will sell you on the bid. And again, I'll do another video on configurations, but I just want to show you how it works. So I can sell on the bid. Now selling on the bid is going to sell, maybe the way I have it configured, maybe 5 cents below. And this is where you're using it where it's completely dropping and you're like hurting. And if something is dropping and it's hurting, you want to click the bail out as soon as possible, or you know that it's about to drop. So if you don't want to be hitting on the axe and it still is dropping in your order, you're trying to sell and you're not going to get your order fulfilled. So it's better to hit the bail out, especially if it's dropping drastically. Okay, so what I want to do is, because I did this order entry and it is coming back up a little bit, I don't know if you all can see it over here. I may have to adjust my screen for the future here. Oh, I'm on a different screen, sorry about that. But I'm gonna have to adjust my screen in the future here so that you can see it, but look like it's coming up a little bit. And of course I can, at this point, I think I'll do that just while we're doing that. Sorry about this, but I'm gonna make it a little smaller here so that you can see it. Okay, so you see that I'm in Tesla, you see my order entry window, and you see my video here. So the main thing I want to do is make sure that you're able to know how to get out of a trade. So again, you notice the first thing I did as I'm clicking on other softwares, and this is something that a trader will end up doing when they're using Stream Deck, is they can be clicking on other software. I think I was clicking like on my OBS at this time, but you notice my habit is to come back and click on my order entry window. And now I'm feeling that it's okay to start using my Stream Deck. And that's another thing. You have to be hitting your order entry window, especially if you have more than one. So I have two. That's Cohen down there, and then of course I have Tesla up here. When you're clicking on it, whatever order entry window you're on, that is the order entry window that your hotkeys are working for. So I want to get ready to bail out of my position. I'm gonna sell half, and you can see that it put an order in, and because I'm doing it on the axe, it did not fulfill it, and of course it's moving fast. So I hit cancel. And again, I can set a stop loss, which is, everyone knows what a stop loss is. It's just a little way to protect your risks overall. But in this case, since I'm definitely just wanting to get out of it, if I hit on the bid, you see that it finally closed me out. And again, it is, definitely enough volume to close me out on the bid, which is normally what you want to do when you're losing a trade. So I'm going to walk through this one more time. In order to kind of get in on a day trade, I see that if I want to find the setup here, there's no real big setup right now, but if I just want to feel like it's going long and I want to get into a position, I can hit a buy, and I bought 100 shares of Tesla, and my order filled that quick. And if I feel like, okay, it's still going to continue to go up, you can, double down your position. So now I'm at 200, and this is great because you don't have to worry about touching the order window. You see the order window already says $300, but I see that it might drop. No, I'm going to hold on to it. And that's the mentality that you're going to go through when you have it, but it makes it almost a push button type of action. So you don't think about your hotkeys. Now I do still use my hotkeys on my keyboard sometimes because it's just, I'm so used to it, but I realize that there is an edge in using something like this. So I see that it's going down, and I noticed that I want to get out on the bid, on the axe, wouldn't let me get out, and I'm going to just sell on the bid. Now I'm down $700, and that's one thing I want you to remember. The hotkeys, it doesn't automatically make you a better trader, but it will give you an edge, especially when you're looking at your overall strategy, especially if you're trying to do things like buying dips. Are very good with it. But I do want to say it doesn't really automatically handle your trade plan for you. So one thing is good to remember is a good habit that I have is I always get my order entry, especially if I'm buying just really, on a trade plan and on a setup and I have an idea, I will go ahead and put in my order in the order entry window. So if I want to get in, let's say that I want to, and it look like it's going to go down, but let's say that I have that idea and I want to potentially sell, I won't just hit the sell button here. Same thing with buying. I'll put your first entry could be on your order entry window, and that's a good habit, is to go ahead and set what you want, and you can go ahead and make that idea come to life here. I'm gonna cancel this one real quick, and I'm gonna just do I'm gonna try to short. Okay, so I got into an entry point, and of course that's not the best entry point to short in. I just wanted to show that your order entry should be in the window itself. And I'm gonna get out of this one really quick. Of course, I don't have my bailout on here. This is a good example if you don't have a bailout. If you're trying to sell on the axe, it's gonna kill you. So you wanna have a bailout button. On my short side, I do not have a bailout. So you're not able to properly get out if you don't have that. So you have to get out just manually and just, I'm just gonna buy and get out. So now on the buy side, which I do have a bailout button, I feel like that's the first 1 minute pullback. I'm gonna get in, once it passed the high of this candle, which I can't see on my other screen, 488, 38. So I'm gonna set this one, and of course there's hotkeys that you can use to properly change your order window. But I do that, my point is that I do my order window by default, you know, just like normal, and my hand is on the buy button. And once I see that it's hitting a certain point that I may want, I hit the buy button, it fills my order, and then I go to actually looking at my keys here. And the reason why is because you want to get a good entry and guarantee that you get a good entry. And of course, this looks like it's a little bit of a false breakout. So if it doesn't break out immediately, you just hit bail out. But if it resolves and it continue to go higher, I sell on the axe because I want to get the highest amount of profit out of that. So that's the way it works. Again, you want to go from your order entry, hitting the buy or the sell, whatever you're on, to going to your stream deck. And that's just a recommendation. Some people will say, no, I just want to use it like a joystick and I buy and I sell. That's great. But one thing you just got to remember is you want to get good entries. And this guaranteed, like I got this entry at 88.35, so it guaranteed that I got in when I used it, when I did the order on the window. And of course, when you want to get out, which I'm making like $35 at this point, which isn't a lot, but you can just go ahead and let's say that it is ripping and it's going higher and higher. I can sell half my position, and of course it didn't fulfill me on the axe, but sometimes it does fulfill, like I just did there. So now I have 50 shares, and then of course, so that's, you can scale out of the position or you can completely close your account. And of course, when it's going up, I like to sell on the axe, and then of course, once I'm done, I can bail out. So that's the way you do it. That's the way I would recommend it. Of course, I'm not up a whole lot. I was just going through the demo, and this is a simulated software, but I do want to just show you how Stream Deck really works within this platform here. I mean, I think it's a very good tool to use. Also, I think it's healthy to use it when you're recording your trades. So if you look up here to the upper right, I do record my trades as well, because I want to, if I'm watching a stock that I want to buy, I may hit record, so OBS will start recording, and then I will start, you know, I will enter into my trade using my, you know, order window. And once I get into the order window, my hand will be on the buy button. I'm using the mouse. I hit that buy, and then I go straight to the Stream Deck to either get out or to scale up my position or to completely bail out. So that's the way that I use it. I definitely hope you like this initial video. Again, it's just a demo. We will go over some actual trades and how you can leverage it. And I may show some of the clips of when I'm doing some of my small account, just to show that I am using my Stream Deck and actually show my action. And this is very important, because one thing you want to do is have an edge on any of the technology. If you take that out of the process of trading, your trade will be a lot smoother. You don't have to worry about fumbling with different, you know, hotkeys or buttons, making a lot of mistakes. You want to remove all of that and make it as automated as possible. So I hope you like this video. Definitely, if you want to see more about configuring, please hit the like and subscribe. We will be doing more videos about how to set up these hotkeys, and I will show you a way how you can actually just take a copy of this hotkey and learn about this max out button, which is really good for my small account trade challenge that I'm doing. So see you next time on tradesmith.io.
This is a new channel. For more tips and tricks on trading technology, hit the like button and go to tradesmith.io.